joining us today. As above, so below. This is Saturnian energy of Saturn. We call it the Black Planet. We want to say to each and every one of you guys, if this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATRs. I am definitely rocking my Fedifuni Ligua to some issue, to some of you guys, Papa Legba, Metkafu, to any crossroads spirit, Hecate, any spirit that operates with threshold and those perpendicular lines. We like to call them the crossroads, but they're actually perpendicular lines where energy flows in and out. What's up there, Tree Rhonda Aries in the house? I want to come on here on today and hopefully to all of you that have been subscribing, those that have been taking classes from my website, those that have given themselves an opportunity to understand what real magic and Ache is. And one of the things that I have, I wanted to talk to you guys today because I really want you to go. What's up there, my love? My Taurus is in the house. One of the things, because this is Saturnian energy and about structure, and I wanted to really home in on protection. And I want to say, first of all, salutations to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, to my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Kumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Ajay, and all of you that practice any type of magical system. Also want to say hello to my Pisces, my Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Now, one of the things that my lives do. What's up? My son Darius is in the house. What's up, Mama Susan in the house? Gemini. We got Gemini. No, Pisces, Gemini. And then we got my 69 Renee. There's my other Gemini, Karen O'Brien. How did I say this? Too many practitioners, spiritualists, and people in the ATR are assuming that the masses are aware of certain things that if you grew up in a magical environment, they're just not. And there are certain, I call them illusions and conclusions when it comes down to protection work. Because I have an understanding how energy, frequency, and vibration works, I also understand how to disrupt it. I'm going to say that again. You're dealing with somebody that has been doing magic since I was a child. I'm 51 years old. I practice many different ATRs. But one of the things that I excel in is spiritual warfare. I've been in the church all my life, all I can remember. My mom didn't go to church a lot, but she said, do as I say, not as I do. So I had to go to church. And then when I went on my dad's side, they stayed in church all day long. So it was meant for me to be a preacher. It was meant for me to be an apostle and pastor. But it was also meant for me to practice the black arts and to operate in the ATRs. To be effectively able to protect and defend my flock, the people that I serve, the people that I work with. So you're not coming from an individual that, I have some tacos, that don't understand energy, don't understand frequency and vibration. So please give an ear to this. I can teach this on so many levels, but I'm going to start here. One of the illusions, especially if you grew up in the church, one of the illusions about protection is because you say God is protecting you, it is so. Sir and ma'am, if there's no contract between you and the divine, you have no protection other than your aura, your energy. And to another misconception about protection is that most Christians believe that prayer is their protection. So let me explain this to you. That when you pray or in communication with your deity, your God, your goddess, or whoever you're praying to, that energy is only going to last as long as you are actually articulating in that prayer. That means as long as you're communicating with that particular entity. What's up there? Greetings from Michigan. That is the level of energy. Now, depending on how much energy or ache that you can generate in your prayer and what type of spirits show up in your prayer determines the amount of protection that you have as long as you are praying. When we do certain works, depending on the type of work that you are doing, whether you're burning incense or whether you are burning Jesus Christ is Lord, He died for our sins. Child, by Dominique. So when it comes down to protection work, when it comes to people not understanding how the type of protection that they're asking for, how it works, then they cannot get the full benefit of that. So what do I mean? Now, when I burn incense, I know that incense stays in the atmosphere. The energy that is released during incense burns lasts between 24 hours and 48 hours. Depending on the strength level, it could last to 72 hours. Now, when you release that into the atmosphere, there's a lingering energetic effect. Now, because I do spiritual warfare, what people don't realize, as that atmosphere is being attacked by spirits, entities, people like me, that weakens that whatever you have placed in the atmosphere. Okay, cannabis. So what happens is, when somebody does a work and they're under attack, they're not considering that they have to continue to burn that incense, because as they're being attacked, that particular atmosphere is being weakened by the attacks of the individual or individuals. Now, depending on how much ache, or what we call energy, frequency, or vibration that you have placed in that working, or if I burn incense for you, it's pretty strong. But if you do it regularly enough, what happens is it makes it not impossible, but very difficult for spirits to operate in your atmosphere. Now, what that means is they can't get into your Holy of Holies. It makes it very difficult for them to maneuver. So it's like having a cold, but your immune system is strong. It makes it very difficult for that cold or that virus to operate in your system, and normally you're able to throw it out with less effects. So when you understand protection with candle work is a fire magic, and it's energy that is released. So it is the same concept that when you are releasing that energy to protect you, as long as that candle is burning, that energy is released to protect you. Now, what happens if that particular working that you're doing is being attacked by somebody like me? I know how to break through protection. A part of being a warrior is not only know how to put up protection, but also get around people's protection. The reason I call it an illusion is because some people feel because they are wearing something or they have something in their vicinity, if you're not in contact with your amulet, your bracelets, your crystals, whatever has been consecrated to protect you, it's like having a gun in your house, but you in the car. It serves and does you no good. Every element, every fetish, every protection item only has a certain radius by which it has the ability to cover you. In other words, it's like having the difference between having an umbrella and a canvas. A canvas covers more territory. So the bigger the crystals are, do I have a smaller? Yeah. Like this, say for instance, this crystal, it can be powerful, but it only, long as it's on me, it has a certain radius. But then this crystal can carry more energy, but it covers a bigger perspective of protection. Now, I call conclusion. Conclusion of protection is to feel because somebody told you that because you were scratched, initiated, anointed, whatever, that you have come to a full-blown conclusion that you have this maximum security protection. And no one has the capability or skill set to get beyond Fort Knox, so to speak. So I, even as somebody that has been practicing magic all my life, I understand that there are people out here skilled enough to get around certain areas of my protection. But what I do have is safeguards that I put and give myself opportunities to deal with whatever attack or breach of attack that somebody may occur. Because sometimes with protection, it deflects energy. Sometimes with protection, it scatters energy, depending on what type of protection you got. This is why I'm always encouraging people about doing graveyard work, because graveyard work builds your ancestors. And those that practice any form of ATR knows that your ancestors are your first line of defense. So me being the strategist that I am, I'm always encouraging people with help when it comes down to their finances, business, anything that has to do with you in this natural world. The smartest thing to do is to fortify your front line. I'm going to say that again. To me, no matter if you're an Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, Ajay, Christian, Mason, Eastern Star, is how well can you fortify your front line, your defense line? And then also, as the Bible says, strengthening your inner man. I believe that people have come to a conclusion that their only responsibility is to help their ancestors and not strengthen themselves. You want to strengthen yourself right along with your ancestors, because at the end of the day, you got to be able to defend your house. I'm going to say that again. It's your body, it's your temple, it's your life, and your inner man need to be strong enough, just as strong as your eguns, your ancestors, or your spirits. Whether you got many, whether you got a few, whether you got one, whether you just got a powerful aura that encamps round about you and it's very difficult to break. One of the things I want y'all to understand, it's all a science. It's all a science. And I have watched Christians believe, because they plead the blood of Jesus, that they are protected. Not realizing that people that practice other ATRs are pleading blood as well. And it's sacrificial blood. It's consecrated blood. It's offering to a deity. A lot of times you're not protected also is because you're stepping in sacred spaces. If you don't have the license to be in a certain area and that place has been consecrated by Ajays, Moors, shamans, whomever, depending on their practice. And if they're a strong root worker, strong hoodoo worker, and their particular house is protected, like people come into my church or come around my church is very heavily protected, just like my house or different things. So therefore, if you come into that atmosphere with the wrong attitude, with the wrong energy, the wrong frequency, whatever, my spirits are already going to go on high alert, because their job is to protect that environment. So a lot of times when you are out here in this spiritual community and you're going to botanicas or you're going to certain places, or even people place of business, because sometimes you go somebody, if you look up around there, you might see certain things set up around that place to let you know they got their eguns there, they got their spirits there, they got their prosperity or protection back. And if you come in there with that foolishness in their sacred space where they have consecrated for their success, prosperity, protection, a lot of times we just assume that we have the necessary protection to ward off those particular attacks, even though you're in sacred places and ground. I want y'all to understand that having conclusions about certain things about your protection because your Tata told you that you had the protection of this Mananza. Let me tell you something. The disciples were walking with Yahshua. I'm going to use the Bible term. And Joshua told Peter, Satan desired to sift you as wheat. Never get so comfortable with whoever you walking with that you don't do your work. Sometimes people have this conclusion because you walking with Chief Apostle Eli that you don't have to cleanse, you don't have to protect yourself, I don't have to worry about it because he's covering it. You still have to do your everyday regimens for your own personal protection and health. It is not my responsibility or any leader's responsibility to take sole onus of your protection. There's some conclusions that people have because you're abiding in certain... Let me tell y'all something. Just like in the animal kingdom, that certain animals will go into the nest of certain birds or go into the living quarters of certain animals, there are certain people like me. I will... Even though your house may be protected, I am going to read and I am going to figure out how I can enter. Because people, even with protection, there's ways to get beyond people's protection, especially if you are vibrating at certain levels. Because let me tell y'all something. You can have protection work that only covers a certain aspect of your life. People that practice Palo can deal in the shadow realms. People that practice Orisha work can deal in the light realm, work with your head. You understand? There's other people that work with hoodoo, will work with your body, or voodoo will work with your spirit. There's every one of these ATRs allow us certain access into certain realms that you may have protection through hoodoo, but I can get past you with voodoo. I can get past with you with Palo. I can get past with you with shamanism, because I can go into the astral realm just like a Cancer can travel in the astral realm. If I know how to operate in shamanism correctly, then I can use my astral body to operate in that realm and attack you, because that is also the closest realm to the natural realm. People that understand how you are protected and when you are time. Let's talk about that. Timing of things can make your protection either stronger or weaker. Different seasons allows your protection to be what? Stronger or weaker. And people that study, people that are skilled, knowledgeable, have an ability to weaken. I have done it numerous of times. I have sat there and watched with great joy, watched their level of confidence in their protection work eviscerate right before their eyes. Because they have listened to somebody and told them, oh, they can't touch you because you got this. They can't touch you because you got that. And I go in because I understand what I got walking with me. Now, this is what I'm talking about is you better not be no amateur. Because you mess around and go into certain people protections or their covens or their sacred spaces and get ate all the way up. I'm going to be responsible about what I'm talking about on this live, because it is possible to get beyond certain protection. But there is danger when you are going into the beehive. When you decide that you're going to go for the queen bee, you better know what's in that beehive. You better know what's in that, how many soldiers are in that harness nest. A lot of you all think that my principles about sitting down and counting up the call. It doesn't matter what you got sitting at your door when I'm not trying to go through your door. It doesn't matter what you got sitting. If I'm after you, there are certain things I'm going to do to get beyond your protection. I got certain people that I am in warfare right now, and I am getting beyond. I'm still striking because I can get beyond their protection. The person that did their protection work is not stronger than me. People cannot protect you above their ache. People cannot protect you above their skill set. People cannot protect you above their imagination. You can't fight or defend what you can't see. Stop, watch. When you want to know how strong your, it's when somebody is striking at you, what happens? I remember striking at an individual and they was like, oh, if this would have hit me, it'd have killed me. No, I was actually that was just striking to see how much power was in your protection. And it wasn't strong enough to try to kill you. But I was always taught you don't go in guns a-blazing, because that's how people get hurt. When if you go and hit something that's stronger than you and it bounces back, you're going to get really hurt. So I always throw a blow strong, but not my full strength. And so I want to test what I'm going up against. And so once it begins, either it breaks, cracks, or completely falls down, Jericho style. That lets me know what I'm dealing with. I have a lot of wisdom when it comes down to this protection stuff. And it is too many people out here getting protection work, and you don't know how your individual personal protection works and what kind of range it has. You come over here and I'm talking about Flavor Flav. Anybody that's sitting here looking at me realizes that I am far from being a Flavor Flav. But your mama would lose a beauty contest to Flavor Flav all day long. You understand? Huh? Now that, sir, and that man is the truth. Flavor Flav wish he could look like this. Huh? Butt naked, clothes, glasses, haircut, not cut, huh? Tongue out, not. Flavor Flav wish But your mama couldn't beat a beauty contest with Flavor Flav. What's up, Jealous Sweets? So, these are the things that I feel that people need to be aware of, why I encourage certain types of protection, certain types of working, because when you are up under the gun, there are certain things that when you do your baths or you do your cleansing, and then you don't realize how long that bath lasts. Now, those that do not know, incense cleanses and protects you on the astral plane. Baths cleanses your physical body from energy that you have collected. If somebody is constantly throwing at you, you have to constantly do bath. If you're not a person that constantly does bath, so you might not get all of the energy off of you because you don't do a continuations of bath. This is why some days they tell you do 7 baths, 9 baths, and a lot of us, come on y'all, like, to grown people, I say this. When you know you're up on attack, I don't care how good they are, you still need to do your bath cleansing. I don't care how much you're being affected by their magic. You still need to do the bath cleansing, because what you don't want to do is allow that energy to pile up on you and then also get a 21-day cycle in on you. So let me explain this to you. Every 21-day energy either sets in or disperses. So it shifts. So when you understand science behind protection work, I know that when I'm going up against people that have certain spirits with them, okay, now I got to say, I'm asking this question. Does this spirit walk with them? Or do they have to call on this spirit? Does this spirit have a particular house that they have to go to? Because I have spirits that actually walk with me. That is a different type of protection than you have to call a spirit in to protect you. I'm going to say this again. Having spirits or entity walking with you is a different type of protection than you have to actually summon or call for a spirit to come in to protect you. I need y'all to be clear about that. So it's levels to this. So when somebody is telling you you need stronger work, that's what they're basically trying to explain to you. Salutations, Jeremy. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday. Ma feri funi ligwa. Eshu. You know, I'm doing my thing. So a lot of the things that I feel that you can't ask because you don't know. You don't understand because it ain't your way of life. So having fire insurance doesn't mean you have flood insurance. Having flood insurance doesn't mean you have earthquake insurance. So what I am saying is, depending on where you live, physically, it's a type of insurance. So I live in Florida, and normally we have hurricanes. And so therefore, normally we have hurricane protection on our houses, or things of that nature, because typically those are type of storms that are in our life. When you are in the spirit, when you're in the spiritual community, and depending on what type of traditions that you are around, is what type of protection you may have need of. I try to make things very simple. I try to get people to understand that your protection can be weakened by how you utilize it. Are you up under adverse attacks? Or do you have somebody that is going to focus on? Are you have somebody on payroll that you can contact to go to warfare for you on the drop of a dime? Or your money's too short that you can't get that type of help? All this stuff matters is saying, who can you enlist? Even if you got fight game, do you have somebody else that you can tag in? That's protection. Do you have bloodline that you can tag in that may not cost you as much because they don't mind fighting for you because you're their child, or you're their sister, brother, whatever, those type of relationships? Or you their godchild, or you their spiritual child. These are other types of protection that you may have at your disposal. A part of spiritual protection is, if somebody's coming for you, then what they're going to do is try to break up your your union with people that can help you. And so you might find out that you start having issues with your tata, your mambo, your mama, your daddy, your brother, whoever in your life is really that individual that is a part of your protection. And that's, y'all, that's not dirty. That's just a strategy. What's up there, my Fetty-Foon Oshun? My friend Sagittarius. Oh, she got to come in here. Madam Oshun, but I got Michelle Williams today. When somebody knows that certain people are part of your protection, then what we do is called confusion work, or we disrupt those relationships to weaken your protection, to weaken your borders, to weaken your visibility, to weaken your financial flow or your access to receive help. What's up there, Natasha Foster, my Aquarius from North Carolina? Like prayer work. Yeah. So, that's Renee, that same concept. Like, say for you and your prayer partner. But if somebody like me, I know that y'all touching and agree, I'm finna break that up. Because you're weaker. Not weak. You're weaker by yourself. This is like when an animal is chasing another animal and they run away the pack. They always trying to break them away from the pack, because then that makes that animal vulnerable. People are the same way. The reason why I stepped up on my protection, because Minister Mario is no longer there. So those blind sides that I had, I could no longer allow those blind sides to continue to exist. You can't be a warrior or a protector or be out here in this spiritual streets and not take care of your blind side or your weakening. So even Paul said, even my weaknesses were made strong through Christ. So not acknowledging that's a blind spot. Not acknowledging, you know what, I was able to win a lot of those wars because I took counsel from Chief Apostle Ely, or I was able to win a lot of those wars because I kept getting baths from Madam Oshun, or whatever it is. And all of a sudden now, you and them are at odds. But that is the strategy to weaken your protection or access to protection. I'm going to say this again, y'all. When you and your husband, if y'all same sex, whatever got going on, or you got good relationship, you have to protect those relationships, because a part of your protection is those relationships. I'm going to say this again. Maybe some of y'all on that short bus and you riding on brakes. Some of your protection has a lot to do with your relationships with various of people. My church is a place of protection for a lot of my saints. So you not coming to church weakens your protection, because the only time that you get that kind of arche or get around that type of energy or frequency, some of y'all, this platform has become a safe haven for your energy, for your frequency, for your vibration. And so therefore, missing that or not getting a chance to be a part of that also weakens your protection. Whatever keeps you in the game, whatever keeps you flowing, whatever keeps you doing what you can do. And this is what people understand. And my spiritual dad taught me this. When somebody trying to bring you down, they're going to go for your health and your finances. Disturbing those two spaces in any man or woman's life is going to create problems all by itself without any further conjure, without any further working. When people have worked on your mind, listen to me, y'all. When they have disturbed your mind, they have distorted your perception to the point you don't know enemy to friend. You in a bad place. Because it doesn't matter what you accumulate with, you can't discern right from wrong. Because now you're in a state of confusion. A lot of times people don't realize that people like me, if I get in a war with you, I know how to break down your protections in your mind. I know how to disturb your peace. I know how to disrupt your sleep. So to keep you from getting any more arche, I am going to send spirits to disturb your sleep. So now you can't sleep, so you cannot recharge. And so therefore it weakens you for the battle that I am going to launch the very next day. Or there's strategies to this. This is why we understand times. We understand the mathematics. So all of this concept that I'm so protected, it's like basically spraying roach spray in the front of the house, but you ain't sprayed none in the back of the house. Like that roach don't got enough sense to go around that and go to the back of the house. They smell what you're doing. They say spirits are the same thing. Because you trying to be so cheap, you trying to be so cost efficient, you're not fortifying your space. Like I have stuff all up under my bed in my bedroom where I lay my head. I have stuff where any place in my house that I actually lay my ori at, there are certain things that I put up under there, even as protected as I am. So even if I fall asleep on the couch, there's something there to fortify my ori. If I have things inside my house, I have things outside my house, I have things down the road that when I'm leaving, I have things at my job, anywhere that I am entering out, intersections, I got stuff there. Because you never know who gonna decide they want some of this good ass. They say, you know what, he too fine, I want either one of them cheeks or both of them cheeks. And since I ain't giving up no ass, I got to protect this ass. You understand? I hope y'all catching on what I'm saying. If you don't want nobody to get none, it is your responsibility, sir and ma'am, to understand how you cover you and how you have access to certain things. And when you choose not to, the illusion is you thinking you protected. The conclusion is you think somebody else is going to protect you 24/7. You're not President Biden. Even spirits have to change shift to protect you. Ain't the same thing about bank robbery or any other a thief out there. They say the enemy come in like a thief. They're looking for the point where that ain't like the angel that was wrestling with Jacob. He said, I got to go. When there's a shifting going on, that's also a vulnerable period. I'm going to say that again. People that understand your cycle, understand your energy, they also know when you're most vulnerable. They also know when one spirit is coming on and one going off. And guess what? Every spirit don't have the same skill level. So when is your strongest spirits on board? When are your weaker or lesser spirits taking over the ship? Because every spirit got the rest. Only God's power is inexhaustible. I'm going to say that again, sir and ma'am. You got to have a protection where your spirits. What time you do some? I know you ain't misspell cocaine. Out of all the drugs in my background, I know you didn't come on my live and misspell cocaine. If you're going to be funny, you can at least have the necessary education to try to be funny. There's delusions of illusion of protection even in the United States. There are certain people think they cannot be touched because I don't have your real name. Illusion. Hi, I'm back in your live stream. Thank you for joining us. An illusion is you think because that spiritual man or woman does not have your face, your picture, your ID. At the end of the day, it's energy. You came into an atmosphere that is already protected, already conjured, already prayed. Prayers have been going on. And so therefore, you will find out whether that man or woman has certain levels of protection. I'm proud to be straight. You proud to be straight? Is you getting in the ass? I mean, you can be straight all day long, but is you getting in the sex? What good is it being straight and you ain't getting no play? That's silly. Oh, that's so silly. I'm Chief Apostle Ely. I'm doing fine. Now, depending on what type of protection you have, what type of conjure you have access to, what type of, like when I had to fortify my Ogun. These are all layers of protection. These are all layers of energy, Ache. But at the end of the day, I am the God of this tabernacle. And you need to learn how to protect your energy, protect your voice, your Ache in your voice. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And then you also know how to protect your ori. To those that have already been crowned, we have an added protection because you have an angel or guardian or Orisha inside of your ori to help also protect you. But then it is still your responsibility to strengthen your own ori. I think that so many people feel like because they're tata, they're mumble, the hugons, or they're pastor, they don't pray for them. But at the end of the day, you got to keep that stuff up. Yeah, don't come in with the crazy. It's like my lives are really for people that really trying to learn. The real learn magic. Whether you choose to work with Santa Real, the Kumi, Congo, you rather stay a Christian, you rather work with Jesus, the blood. I'm cool with all of that because at the end of the day, how you utilize your energy and frequency is not the problem. It's how you engage with other people that are out here, and because they're not doing, will ejaculation help? In your case, I don't think your dick too short to be out here actually ejaculating. You've been on bust a vein. You need more inches, Earl. It helps people like me. I have inches to spare. So I hope that helped you. So when I tell you about protection, I'm saying to you, sir and ma'am, that it's a general term when people say I need protection. Protection from what? What area of your life do you feel assaulted? Then what are you going to do to not only cleanse that area, but fortify that area and then give yourself space? It's no different. To me, protection work is no different than finances. If you're going to prepare for a rainy day and you're going to put away a couple dollars for a rainy day, then why don't you do that also spiritually? Why don't you have certain things you have put away? Like I have certain crystals. I have freaking huge crystals that I have charged with certain levels of energy. So if I come in one day and I'm just like really tired and I can't muster the energy to build my own energy up, I have certain things that I can go to in my apothecary that I can draw strength. I have certain things that I have when there were certain storms going on. I have those because glass holds energy. This is a part of being a warrior. This is a part of strategizing protection, and it's costly. It's also, you got to have the space. That's why some people have generators. So when the power goes out, like this is the mindset. If you are trying to do this professionally, or you are in situations, try to understand why certain spiritual people charge you the way that they do, because depending on how much attack you are under, it's like having a personal bodyguard. If I got to watch for you 24/7, that means I have to have my attention. And where my attention is, that's where my energy goes. So you're asking me to have my attention on you for a certain amount of time, where I'm not focused on anything else. So I have to be compensated for that. Guarding people, covering people, is a lot of work. And so wherever you go, or whatever energy that you get involved in, my protection is over you. And so therefore, before those energies actually attack you, they come to me. So if I'm going to be out here dealing with stuff that's attacking you, then I need to be able to protect myself. And you giving me chemicals and bits, it's not smart on my behalf. When the math is not there, you shouldn't be making the move. I'm going to say that again. When the math is not there, you shouldn't be making moves. But if the math is there, you done sat down and counted up the cost, and you see that you're able to take over and conquer and prevail. That's why David says, shall I pursue? Once you get your answer, some of y'all not getting the answer, you just making moves. And they're going to cost you. And you're going to end up going outside of your protection. David was in his protection when he pursued out his enemy, because he asked. This is why you throw the shamalongas. That's why you throw the obi. That's why you do the divination. That's why you get your reading. Is this something? I might be wrong, but is this the season for me to go to war? I'm literally sitting here. I've been watching Game of Thrones. I'm a child of Cynthia. I'm a vindictive individual. You do something to me, I'm going to do something to you and everybody that's around you. And let me tell you something. I'm going to say it like this. I want all of my mathematicians. I want all of my people that believe in not counting their biddies for their hatch. I want all of my people out here that believe in If you make your bed hard, you got to sleep in it. I want to talk to all of my grown people that believe that you should not put your want before a need. So I say this to my brothers and sisters, to all of you that got sanity, not insane, but sanity. Do you think me being a Sagittarius, Moon in Aries, and rising sign Pisces, that I got crowned Mafedi Fun Oya, spent over 20,000, almost 30,000 there. Then I got, I had to do my elbow for $8,000. Then I had to turn around and get crowned Babalu Aye, which was another 13,000. And then I turned around after getting crowned Babalu Aye, I received my 2 cauldrons and Palo, which were 8,000. Do you think a man or woman is going to invest like that and then let you play with them? I want to talk to all of my grown people. It don't matter if you're in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo. When you see somebody and somebody tell you stay right there and be there when I get back, and you still there when they get back, you deserve whatever they come back with, you deserve whatever that be. Because we all know nobody gets that prepared. Nobody get that cocked and loaded and they playing. Do you really think I'm in a space in my life at 51 years old that I'm going to allow you to lie to me and let you get away with it? I'm going to allow you to promise me some money to all it, like, and not a lot of people do this to me, but there's a situation. I either gonna give me the cash or your ass. Me personally, I don't care, because I'm gonna still get what God got for me. But I am the type of individual, when you tell me you're gonna do something and you do not do that, I am going to put it to your ass. Now, the reason why I say this is because a lot of us feel like, especially us in the church, you feel like you can talk to the pastor any kind of way. And I tell people all the time, I'm not that pastor. You need to go to that church down the road. You need to go to that church over there. You need to go to any other church on planet Earth other than my church. If you coming in there with that foolish and think you're going to play games with that, I'm going to see you for real. And once I discern your motive intent, I deal with you accordingly. I match your energy. And some days I go unmatching your energy, because sometimes I override your shit. I don't let people play with me. And there's no way that you come on my platform and think that I have invested and put myself in a situation to arm myself so I can do greater works and protect my flock and protect myself and protect other people. Who does that and then allow somebody to come in and play with them? There's a reason why somebody tells you that they are a child of Ogun. There's a reason why somebody tells you that they are a child. This is protection. Listen, if they are truly who they say they are, if somebody tells you that they're God's anointed and you see the evidence of that, it is for protection to acknowledge that and say, you know what, I'm dealing with God's anointed and act accordingly. Or I'm dealing with the child of Ogun and act accordingly. Or I'm dealing with the child of Oya and act accordingly. Or I'm dealing with the child of the President of the United States. That's the child of, I'm going to say it like this. Go and mess with Blue Ivy and see what happens. Go and mess with Blue Ivy and see what happens, sir and ma'am. Ed Fed, don't call me boy. I got too much dick to be called a boy. Now you might be called a boy based it off your nub, but I'm way too much man to be called a boy. I got way too much going on for you to call me a boy. Okay? Ain't nothing boyish like me. Ask your mama. I'm more man than your daddy. He's still trying to find her G-spot, and he done been with her 20 years. I hit it one time, and she been skeeting ever since. But I digress. That's my Sophia anointing. When it comes down to protection, clarity of protection, why certain things go on in our life, because we're not looking at how vast. If you believe, sir and ma'am, if you are made in the image and after the likeness of God or the divine mother, then that means that you know there's layers to you. And so depending on their skill set, they can go and mess with certain aspects of who you are. that you don't have protected. You might be doing your foot washes. You might be doing your cleansing. What did my love say? What is wait a minute, son. What if is the practitioner messing with you and you're not bothering them? Now, to me, if you're dealing with a professional practitioner, I don't tell people what to do. This is what I advise people to do. You have to hire a spiritual individual. I do not advise anybody to go up against skilled practitioners. They have access to stuff that you do not have. They have connections you do not have. Even if you are in the right, it's like when your mom and dad are wrong. You can't go in there whooping ass. What you do is you have to get elders to deal with that individual. You have to get people that is on that level to deal with that individual. I would never send my children to do my job, just like I don't send my flock to do my job. When there are certain things, and even in Minister Mario's case, there are certain things I let him handle, but when there are things that are over his head, I stepped in. I do that with anybody that's in my church. When they're dealing with something, if they take that back, if they're doing right by me, if something going on and it's above their grade, I step in. That's the point of having a leader and an elder. Getting up under coverings, getting up under leadership, and not being out in these spiritual streets by yourself. Because I know a lot of us are so worried about being misused, mistreated, or whatever. But I encourage you, go to your egun, because you don't want to be out here solo dolo, because it's too much can happen, and too much can happen. And this is why I preach that other message. When you got too much to lose, you can't afford to be out here. And then get somebody that has building a relationship with you, that is picking up on things that are going on with you, and that you trust them to defend you at a certain level. A lot of times people see where you could have a possibility of being in the same profession. Sometimes people are attracted. You female love, but it don't matter, because you got some women that go that way, and just like men, and they will attack you to get you to come their way, or they can attack you for the sense of what they think you got. Because being honest with y'all, very few of these spirituals out here even got any money or resources to even take care of themselves. So this is their livelihood. So when you walk off, their money walk off. Their extra piece of bread walk off. Their extra piece of cheese walk off. And so therefore they're going to take a different approach. Well, if somebody leaves or decides to go work with somebody else, in my situation, I'm going to be all right. So it don't bother me. I don't feel like I own people anyway. And I don't feel that because I don't know nobody owns me. So I do unto others as others do. But I would never encourage. I would always encourage to find somebody, not to per se to fight, but get up under somebody that can cover you, and then figure out what this person's issue is, and then you basically hide up under the skirt of that individual. What are you wearing? I ain't wearing no drawers. Does that matter? What that's what you talking about? You have to, when you come in my life, you got to be more specific, because I liable to take it any kind of way. You never sleep on somebody that is skilled. What's up, my Stormy? My Sagittarius from Detroit. You never sleep on skilled practitioners. There's so many ways of things that they're still learning. They're still getting access to it. Just like somebody that has a cosmetology license, they can go get certain things. People that have certain business license, they can go to Home Depot and get certain things, a lower that you cannot have access to. And so, but the amount of damage they can do before you actually get involved, you slide. Sliding up under somebody that you feel that you and your ancestors can trust is the best way to weaken those attacks. I think what you are doing is putting yourself in a better position to deal with certain things. But I think that when I'm talking to the masses, I have to speak from an aspect of considering that somebody may be a babe, considering somebody might not have resources, considering somebody might be living with somebody, considering the fact that somebody has no idea what to do in a situation. When you're dealing with the experience, you need to deal and go to the experience, and that is not always easy to find, and I will admit that, but that is the proper way of dealing with stuff when you have run-ins with people like me, like the people that I am attacking and I'm in war with. They are running and getting help from different places and spaces. I don't care. That's not my concern. My concern is I am going to bring to pass what I have sent out to do, and it shall not return unto me void. And so I have to have certain protections, so when they go and get other help from other spiritualists and they get other spirits involved, that I can also fight off those spirits. Because a lot of times y'all start off in a fight with one person and don't realize that may be going on and on and on, that you end up in a fight with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different workers. But when you originally started out, it was just with one person. But when you go and get a big fish like me to come in and help you fight, they're going to go get them some help. So that's why resources are so important, because people, not even if they're wrong, they're not just going to sit there and say, well, you know, I'm wrong, I should have never did that, I'm going to take this ass whooping. The average person ain't going to do that. I don't care if they're Christian, E5, Voodoo, Santeria. The average person is not going to do it. They're going to try to protect themselves even if they're wrong. And most people feel that when they get into these ATR, they're so protected they can do whatever they want to do. And that's an illusion and a conclusion. A lot of these people, especially people that ain't never had no power or influence, they think the purpose of getting into the ATR is to become a spiritual bully. If anybody that knows me on a personal level, I don't bother people. I don't tend to people. You don't come over here, man. When you see me gunning for somebody, you don't come and trespass over here. The dirt of my soil is under your foot. The dirt of my soil is in your nail beds. I have detected you have breached in spaces and places you were not sent to. You weren't called. You came on your own. For whatever reason, you felt it was for you. I don't think it was in your best interest, but you thought you were so protected because you were calling me demonic and evil. And that's another illusion and conclusion. People feel like they are protected from you if they label you as evil. That's the biggest underestimation of the power of the divine mother and father ever. You calling me evil does not protect you from this ass whooping. You calling me the devil, you calling me gay, you calling me drug, you call me whatever, black, evil, ugly, and it ain't gonna stop these spiritual hands. That ain't got nothing to do with them spiritual hands that gonna be laid in your life. So to each and every one of you guys, that's how you handle, that's how you deal with protections on different levels, and it's in your best interest. Because like anything else, you got to know the motive of why you need the protection or why somebody is coming for you. See, a lot of spiritual people are not like me. I was not raised to throw a rock and hide my hand. I let the person or persons know I'm coming for your ass. So they don't need a reading. They don't need the Pele. They don't need nobody to do the tea leaves. I let them know, give God your heart and give me your ass. That's what I do. Now, everybody ain't like that. Some people love throwing a rock, hide their hand, covering up their work in black cloth or black ribbon and all that so they can hide their work. I know. Bombs over Baghdad over here. Because I want messing with you. I tell people don't mess with nothing over here. Don't mess with my hoes. Don't mess with my bros. Don't mess with my baby mamas, my children. Don't mess with my roaches. Don't mess with if I got a mole cricket in my yard, leave it the F alone. It's mine. And if I want to get rid of it, I will. I don't need you coming over here doing nothing. But when you decide to come over here is where you gonna lay. Over here. I feel that you guys have a big disadvantage because you are not raised in a spiritual environment where all of this stuff was just normal to me. It was what they would call a no-brainer. Because this was everyday life. This was everyday mannerism. This was everyday perception. That's why my kids can go to any botanical, in around spirit, and they know how to behave. They're not going to get into it with people because they grew up around it. They know not to touch stuff. You got other people, they touching people Bible. They over there. You finna get into it with so many people because you don't understand spiritual etiquette, and that's protection all alone. Actually, learning how energy works is your protection. Actually, minding your own business is protection. Actually, staying in your weight class is protection. Leaving other people, man or woman, alone. Stop going out here as a Christian because you feel like somebody the devil and talking about people. That's how you get that stop gossip on your ass. A lot of your problems you don't have protection for because you always transgressing against other people because you feel justified because you got this illusion that you so protected that you have a right to violate other people's places and spaces. And you don't. It don't matter if you'll never do the black arts. It don't matter if you'll never light a candle. It don't matter if you don't ever. You still don't have the right to interject your thoughts and your will in other people's life that did not ask. They have a right to reject your conclusion. Just like in the court of law, you can run an appeal. The judge can make a decision and you can go to a higher court and appeal that decision. I don't think I'm a nasty thinking dog. I think you and your mammy is a nasty thinking dog. Huh? I was stupid enough to be dealing with y'all nasty stinking ass. That's where I'm wrong. But you trying to project on me what you is. That's how that goes. So I hope this helped. I hope I gave more realization of what protection is, how it works, why the incense burns are so important. This is why you still getting ideas. Because of the workings that you're doing, this is why opportunities, the roads are opening. Because you're constantly working, so therefore no matter what they're throwing. Like, personally, eventually I'm going to do a roll closing conjure on these bitches. I'm going to use my Eligua that I first got initiated with. I'm going to use my Eligua that I had got when I got crowned in Ocha. Then I'm going to use my Eligua that I got from Babaluaye, and then I'm going to close their rolls with my Lucero. What your protection going to do with all that? So you can burn all the roll opening, take all the roll opening baths. Depending on who's doing that working, your protection may not be sufficient. And that's just me being honest. That's me being real. What do you look for in a man there? A paycheck that's actually can afford my lifestyle. Shame. I'm just like any other person. I'm a businessman. If you ain't got no money, it ain't no sense of coming here. I'm already off limits. I'm 6 figure. Huh? Not 6 inches. I'm 6 figure. Let's get our math together. Because sometimes you're talking to some people, say they might have misconstrued. I'm a 6 figure man, not a 6 inch man. So I hope that helped you. Realization, sober thinking is not the way of most people that are out here in the ATRs. I personally was not raised up like that, functioning like that. Thank you for hitting those like buttons. Thank you for somebody said spitting fat. Protection is at the extent of your ability to cover certain territory. I'm gonna use an example like this. President Biden, I can't remember where he was. But he was way off somewhere in another country, and they had those fighter jets. They sent 2 that moved at the speed past the speed of sound. All you heard was boom. And in 30 minutes, they were in Washington, D.C. In 30 minutes, them aircrafts were in. When you got certain artillery and certain spirits that move like mercury or quicksilver, that they move faster than thought, you working with something. When those spirits can show up, bam, and they hit, bam, hard like that. These are, baby, them type You know, they got certain electrical fields that they have around the president and stuff like that. You can shoot your bullets all day long. Them bullets ain't going through that electrical field. It depends on who you going up against and what they got working with them. I don't want nobody to get out here. I was born with a lot of the things that I have, but I have acquired things through certain initiations. But I don't want anybody to understand, except God watch that house, those that watch labor in vain. A lot of people cannot abide in protection is because they're always in areas and spaces that they were not authorized. You don't have protection when you were not authorized to be over there. And I don't care how much you pray. I don't care how much you summon. At the end of the day, your spirits and you have no business over there. And so you're not on your territory. Just like I used to tell my children, when you stay on my territory where I pay taxes at, you have the advantage. When you on somebody else's territory, we at the disadvantage. So I got to approach it very differently. A lot of y'all don't understand the art of war. A lot of y'all don't know how to battle on your own territory. I know my territory is I'm a fire sign. Moon and Aries. And rising sign. I know how to battle in my elements. And I also know how to battle in those that are not to my advantage. Y'all seen, I put a video out there. The leopard was sitting in the drinking some water at one of those rivers, and one of those crocodiles came up there and snatched that leopard in the water. But that crocodile didn't know that leopard know how to swim. And that leopard up under that water flipped that crocodile ass over. Sometimes you think you got the advantage because you've been in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria longer than certain people like me. And then you find out once you snatch us in that element and you thought I couldn't swim, you thought I was going to drown, I flip your ass over and now I got a meal for the day. Now I got a testimony for the day. And that's what you're really mad for, because you came in there and thought I was out here like these other preachers, jaw-jacking and got good stuff, and you ain't know I was protected like that. That ain't my fault. You didn't do your proper divination. You didn't throw your shamalongas like you were supposed to do. You didn't do your reading like you didn't talk to your ancestors. And now you done got you and them fucked up. Congratulations. I've been doing this a long time, y'all. I am so thankful for your teacher. Thank you there, love. I want y'all to win, but let me tell y'all something. Y'all help me do the things that I do out here. Okay. All right, there, Karen O'Brien. Hold on a minute, y'all. Ancestor. You don't sleep on you. Your mama might sleep on you. Your daddy may sleep on you. Your children may be able to sleep on you. Your husband or wife might sleep on you. Your good, reliable side piece might sleep on you. You don't never sleep on you. That's the only disservice that can ever be done to you, is you sleeping on you. Ancestor, protection. And hold on. And people of the spirit, y'all got to remember, people know when you getting help. People know when you getting stronger. And they're going to keep fighting because they can't afford you actually to prevail against them. Because at the end of the day, they know it's going to return to sender. Monique, thank you for sending that for Chloe for breakfast. Or was that for my breakfast? Yeah. Can't get Chloe everything. Stop gossip. I like that, Karen O'Brien. That's my air sign. Some of y'all, let me tell y'all something. You might not want to hear this because y'all claim to love y'all family and ride or die. But a lot of the evil eye that a lot of people get on them come from their family, people close to them. That's why stop gossip is for your family too. You got to shut their mouth, because guess what? People will believe what your family say about you before they'll believe anybody else. And so therefore, if your family out there speaking negative about you, that means whatever business you got, whatever relationship you got, it's all affecting that, because what your mama said, what your daddy said, what your brother said, what your sister said, what your bloodline saying about you, that's negative and causing you harm. Huh? And even if you are a hoe, I'm sending for ancestor incense too. Got you, love. Even if you are whatever they say you are, it ain't nobody been. Why you talking about? Talk about the other hoes on the other side of the family tree. Why you over here? I hold alone. I alone hold alone. Praise God. One thing people cannot deny on my platform, I make sense. And when you're not used to making sense, and you used to illusions and coming to conclusion that there was no agreement made, this kind of stuff right here seems far-fetched. And it's not. Hold on, where's my lighter? Where's my lighter? Y'all would not believe what is your work. Oh, talking about what kind of work? Sex work? Like what? That's a general statement. What is my work? I work UPS driver. What my spiritual work? How I work that ass? Like be more clear. Like I'm a sage. You got to be more clear with me. You can be talking about anything. I work a lot of stuff. And this is also good. Don't y'all take offense what I'm saying, because this will help a lot of people realize sometimes you think you're speaking specifically to something and you don't realize how general your statement really is, because you don't have the raising that's necessary to operate in these spiritual communities. And so therefore you can be utilizing verbiage that does not relate to the actual answer that you actually want. Because I got to do more graveyard work. Work today is going into the resurrection. I work a lot with or they can. This is a very powerful time for me. Thank you for joining us, Jacqueline. As you guys are coming in, my day is going quite well. As y'all guys come, make sure you hit that like button and comment behind this video. This is help boosting these apps. If you want me to keep bringing, like y'all know, I share a lot of, and I'm coming from proven, tested information, and I don't have a problem sharing it. But without your support financially, it's not conducive. So this is why certain things are so important, how we all come together. You have to strengthen my hand, and I help strengthen your hand. At the end of the day, we both win in the situation. If you want experience from somebody that has been doing, I am 51. I've been doing this since a child. I'm talking about courtroom work, federal court, graveyard work. I've been doing this since just like other kids were going to elementary school, I was too, but I was also going to the cemetery. I was also doing candle work. I was also going to the courthouse. The turn of court. I've been working in courtroom paper, reading this, working on the judges, working eggs. I've been doing this since a child. I've been popping caps in people's ass since a child. So this is not coming from somebody that set up and read a couple of books and able to articulate the information and then regurgitate it back to you in my own words. That's not what this is. This is not a thesis. This is not a hypothesis. This is experience talking to you based off everyday life. That's why my classes are important to many of you guys, and that's also why that graveyard work is important. And also, if you're going to work with me, you got to have a sober mind. You got to come in with the mindset, am I going to put my money where my mouth is? Because guess what? You're not finna get my attention. Because if you want my attention, you got to ring my cash out. Huh? Showing me your titty, your ass, it's not going to get my attention. Because I'm 51. I done seen so much porn and done seen so many naked bodies in my life. Like, you got to show me something. Unless you show me a midget. I don't think have I had sex with a midget? I don't have sex with some short people. I'm trying to see if I actually got down to the midget. I don't think I have. I got to cross that off on my list before I leave this earth. Knock off a midget or two. They said in my ETA, again, I can't do threesome. So I got to find me a worthy midget. Praise God. So if you want to pray for me, that's what I'm going to touch and agree with me, that I find me a worthy midget so I can keep it 3.5 and still be obedient. That's some very good advice. Yeah, if I won't tell it to my children or my loved ones, I'm not going to tell it out here. What you saying, Apostle, is lining up with something I was advised. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, if people genuine, let me tell you something. You don't have to be in the same household, because every true parent should want to see their kids be able to function out in life. The same way in spiritual community. Every real spiritual parent, no matter what their practice is, they should be telling you similar. They might use different terminology, different verbiage, but at the end of the day, in order for you to be a wholesome spiritual a person of any tradition, there are certain things and certain foundations that need to be laid. And to teach your children that the only person that they need to respect is you as their mother or their father is setting up for ass whooping all around this universe. Because your child gonna run across another elder that's not gonna, because they feel like since it's not you, that they can handle them like that. And that's not the truth. And I'm always the type of person, if you cuss your mama, I don't play with you. If you try to put your hands on your daddy, I don't play with you. I let them know, I'm not your mama and your daddy. You come here, I'm going to fuck you up. Because once I know that you're willing to cross certain lines, because that's protection. I'm giving y'all some. If you watch certain people cross certain lines with their own biological brothers and sisters and stuff, you already know what kind of protection you're going to need when it comes to you. I just think that's ignorant to know a man will put his hands on his mama and you don't think he'll put his hands on your ass. If you let me watch you cross certain lines with my physical eyes, with my conscious mind, watch you do that, then I'm going to step back, several steps back, and let you know the moment, the hour, morning, noon, night, holiday, wedding day, anniversary, you ever come at me, I'm already ready to unload on you. Because you done already showed me that you are willing to cross certain lines. That's protection all by itself. Some of y'all look at people do certain things, the first thing you say in your mind, because you're in an illusion that, oh, that's them and not me. Why you think like that? I don't know. I don't think like that. When you show me who you are, I adjust accordingly. That's my protection. I'm paying attention to you, and I'm watching the fruit that fall from your tree, and I'm going to respect you for however you choose to demonstrate yourself. If you come in like a wolf, I got something for your wolf ass. If you come in like a snake, I shish kebab snakes too. If you come in like a sneaky possum, we gonna have possum pie. It just, I got something for your ass. It don't matter what kind of ass you got. I got something for it. I got you. Come on, Cletus. Bring it how you bring it. Make sure I got you, baby. If you those that know it's going to be Resurrection Sunday, if you want to give an offering, because I'm going to be going live on Sunday as well. So if you want to give a certain type of offering, because that is springing, I'm going to be doing egg magic, actually working with eggs. I'd rather work with brown eggs, y'all, to be honest with you, than white eggs. So I need to go and get quite a few dozen of brown eggs. But I'm always doing some type of conjure, birthing thing. And sometimes you have to kill certain things that you have birthed. Certain ignorances that you birthed. Certain bad behavior that you birthed. Certain relationships that profit you nothing that you have birthed. You need to kill that. You need to stillborn that shit. Like, that's real talk. When you birthing Chucky and Freddy Krueger and Jason out your walk, you don't look at, no, I'm looking at what you keep birthing. That tells me what kind of vagina you got. You create monsters. You create confusion. Everything you birth brings destruction. Don't bring no resolution. Don't bring no, I already know what type of energy I'm dealing with. So the springtime is for birthing and things becoming alive and energy of newness and starting things. And so I do those type of workings with new levels to my business, birthing new energies that are going to be more protective of me and the people that I serve in this community. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff tomorrow as well. So like I said, when you have knowledge, you clown. I'm a Sagittarius, so you're going to come into my live and call me a clown. You know who was the real clown? Your mama. For allowing your dad to nut in her to bring you into the world. Because you've been an ass to this world ever since. You have been a joke. You have been the butt of the joke ever since. Huh? All she had to do, like any other good Christian, is swallow. But no. She let him release in her, and now we have you. See what happened when you birth shit into the world, y'all? This is what we have to continue with. And you wonder why we not upset with you. We upset with the pussy that brought you to this earth plane. Because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have you. Make sure I got everybody before I go off. I got you, love. I think I got everybody. I don't know what Demetrius did. I don't know. It says reply. I like how you had did that. I don't know what you did. Y'all so savvy with these technology, these apps. I do just as good right there. What is the minimum donation for that? Those egg working, those are the minimum donation for that is gonna be $100. I can make those egg working as strong. And so let me explain to y'all. The more energy that I put into that, and then once that egg is bust, that means that energy is released for manifestation. That is, once again, you want it, depending on what you got going on, you want it as strong as you need it. So people that are working against you cannot hinder the fruition or that thing coming into pass. Eggs are symbolic to manifestation of what's inside the egg. And so therefore, the things that I'm going to be putting inside the egg is what I want to manifest in this season. So this is what we're going to be doing. And I'm only doing this for melanated people. Y'all, a lot of the content I do out here, and I put certain donations out there, is for the benefit. I'm not trying to get over on nobody, but at some point, I'm going to have to go up on my donation, but I'm trying to give you opportunity to step up so you can actually embrace real magic. So you can at least know what it is. And you'll know what it's not. It don't matter what particular tradition you get in. It's important. As you come in here, why you worried about whether to hit that like button on your way out here? All right. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And thank you for the gas money. And thank you for the donations. And even though we know that Easter is really Estar, the goddess of fertility, just like old Shun is the goddess of fertility. There are many gods and goddesses that rule fertility. Pan also of Jupiter rules fertility as well. We call it agriculture, but it's the same concept. So there's male spirits and female spirits that actually rule over that thing called Zaka in voodoo rules over agriculture, which is still fertility, birthing things. So there are spirits of the land or earth spirits that are very, very strong at birthing and bringing things to fruition. And so y'all know my magic works 3, 6, 9. My favorite number in position is 69. All right? But when it comes to conjure, it's 3, 6, and 9. All right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I see y'all on the flip. God bless.